Good morning. Welcome. This is Stephen C. And you are at Steve O'C's on TikTok. Today is Monday, May 26, 2025. Happy Memorial Day. And welcome. It is 11 a.m. Central Time. This is our Course in Miracles review, daily review, going over lesson 146 today. And also a corresponding portion of the text, chapter 17, section 5. So welcome this morning. Please feel free to like this live, share this live, and feel free to comment and participate, please. If you missed the live or if you would like to see some of the previous discussions, there is approximately 120 hours of discussion on my YouTube channel. You can find the link in the bio, in the account bio at Steve O'C's over on YouTube, and you can follow along over there and review some of the previous lessons. So I like to begin each morning, each session, by reading the introduction to the course as sort of a centering exercise to become grounded in the proper vibration, sort of an opening prayer. So this is the introduction to the Course in Miracles. It says this is a Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The Course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. And so that is a very succinct and direct summary of what is, we could call, the purpose of the Course in Miracles. The goal of the Course in Miracles is to help us awaken to our true self, to remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, to do shadow work in Jungian terms, to remove the shame, the guilt, the criticism, and condemnation from our consciousness, from our mind, allowing the truth, the light of the Spirit, to shine forth in our consciousness so that we remember the truth of who and what we are. The truth of who and what we are has not changed, has not been damaged, has suffered nothing. The Son of God cannot suffer, according to the Course in Miracles. And each of us individually and all of us collectively are the Son of God. We can only suffer in a dream as part of an illusion, the Course says. So lesson 146 today is part of a 10-day review. We are reviewing 2 previous lessons per day, the last 20 lessons for 10 days, 2 lessons per day. And I would like to quickly read the introduction to this review, number 4. The introduction to this review just has a couple more ideas to keep in mind as we practice these thoughts for the day, these phrases for the day that are helping us to reverse the way we think, helping us to build or remember the thought system to come into alignment with, resonance with the thought system of God, the thought system of the Creator. And so in stating this, in recognizing this, we also recognize the first Hermetic principle, or the first Hermetic law, that the universe is mental. God is mind. And so to come into alignment with the mind of God, the thought system of God, the introduction to this section, this review, says, today we will begin to concentrate on readiness for what will follow next. Such is our aim for this review and for the lessons following. Thus, we review the recent lessons and their central thoughts in such a way as will facilitate the readiness that we would now achieve. So this review is a time to prepare for what comes next, for the next lessons. The Course in Miracles is going to elevate here, and we need to prepare and become ready for the new level, the change of energy that is about to be presented in the Course. It says there is a central theme that unifies each step in the review we undertake, which can be simply stated in these words: my mind holds only what I think with God. That is a fact and represents the truth of what you are and what your Father is. It is this thought by which the Father gave creation to the Son, establishing the Son as co-creator with himself. It is this thought that fully guarantees salvation to the Son. For in his mind, no thoughts can dwell but those his Father shares. Lack of forgiveness blocks this thought from his awareness, yet it is forever true. My mind holds only what I think with God is the truth. We ourselves are thoughts in the mind of God. God created us through thought, and so thoughts do not leave their source, the Course in Miracles says, and so we are still within the mind of God, our higher self, the higher portion of our consciousness. The truth about ourselves is in heaven, is already saved, has already been saved, has never sinned. We have simply fallen asleep, the Course in Miracles says, and are dreaming a dream of separation. And so we perceive what we perceive with our five senses is illusory. It is illusory because it changes, it transforms, it is not the absolute, which in Hermeticism or Gnosticism or many mystery school teachings, the absolute is another name for God, the unchanging, the infallible. No, the Pope is not infallible. God is infallible. God is unchanging. God is the thought of the unchangeable. God is the thought of perfection, perfect love, loving intelligence, divine intelligence. So the key for us on this earth plane, key for us operating in duality, which is a necessity for the creation of quote unquote physical matter. Course says it's not really physical matter, it's just condensed thought. It's just thought that appears, we perceive as matter. But in this seeming duality, we need a mechanism, we need a tool in order to help us return to a non-dual consciousness. That tool is forgiveness. And so lack of forgiveness not applying forgiveness, not using the function of forgiveness as it is to be used, is to block our recognition, to block our consciousness from the truth of our being. So it continues, let us begin our preparation with some understanding of the many forms in which the lack of true forgiveness may be carefully concealed, because they are illusions. They are not perceived to be what they are. Defenses that protect your unforgiving thoughts from being seen and recognized. So the part of the preparation, part of using these this review period, the next 4 or 5 days, let's say, is to look into ourselves and consider the idea of lack of forgiveness. Where am I unforgiving? Where have I become rigid or stiff-necked in my thinking? Where do I think it is, and to whom do I think it is impossible to extend forgiveness? So these are called defenses, or this is a defense mechanism that has been set up psychologically, that has been set up by the ego mind, that has been set up, constructed by the little self in order to, air quotes, quote unquote, protect itself and protect you, protect me from the dangers, the threats that it perceives. These are the defense mechanisms, the defenses. And the Course says that is related to a lack of forgiveness. Furthermore, it says these are illusions, they are deceptive, they are meant to conceal the truth. They are designed to conceal the truth. So strangely enough, there are mechanisms, psychological mechanisms within our own mind, which conceal the truth from us, actively conceal the truth from us, or as the Course in Miracles says, actually attack God's plan for salvation, because in this impossible situation in which we find ourselves, in which we do not remember who and what we are, we do not remember our origin, we do not remember our source, we do not recall our oneness with everyone and everything, with the universe. In this impossible situation, there is a psychological mechanism within us which seeks to prevent our awakening, our own recognition of the truth. And so we are at war with ourselves. The battle is within. An adversary exists, although only in the dream state, only as an illusion, only as part of the mind control, brainwashing, hallucinatory world that we perceive. Only as part of that there is an adversary that is not external, it is internal. Now, luckily, the Course in Miracles says it's not real. If we simply do the shadow work, as Jung suggested, if we simply look at the dweller on the threshold, if we confront or tame or master the dragon, the treasure will be ours. We will cross the threshold. We will enter in to the kingdom of heaven. The dweller on the threshold, this adversary, the deceiver within us, is a man behind a curtain. It's an illusion, it's not real. Duality is a misperception, and so a non-dual consciousness is able to look upon all things with love and, if necessary, forgiveness. Your mind holds only what you think with God. Your self-deceptions cannot take the place of truth, no more than can a child who throws a stick into the ocean change the coming and going of the tides, the warming of the water by the sun, the silver of the moon on it by night. So do we start each practice period in this review with readying our minds to understand the lessons that we read and see the meaning that they offer us. My mind holds only what I think with God. Begin each day with time devoted to the preparation of your mind, to learn what each idea you will review that day can offer you in freedom and in peace. So this is a spiritual discipline. Okay, our spiritual health is maintained by a practice, by a spiritual practice. The workbook in the Course in Miracles says, begin each day with time devoted to spiritual practice. In fact, it should be the first thing we do in the morning and the last thing we do before we go to sleep. 5 minutes, 10 minutes with the thought, my mind holds only what I think with God. God offers thanks to you who practice thus, the keeping of his word. And as you give your mind to the ideas for the day, again, before you sleep, his gratitude surrounds you in the peace wherein he wills you be forever, and are learning now to claim as your inheritance. So, lesson 146 is a review of lesson 131 and 132. So you can go to my YouTube channel. There's a link in the account. There's a link in my bio. Or you can search at Stevo Sees, Stevossees. And you can also, over on YouTube, listen to the discussion and the review of lesson 131 and 132. Lesson 131, we talked about the idea that no one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. This text and workbook claims and says if you practice these exercises, if you discipline your mind, seeking for the truth is in fact the only thing we can be successful at. Everything else is not necessarily a failure, but will only be a step on the path to true success, which is recognition of the truth within us, recognition of the truth of who and what we are. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. That is the ultimate purpose of life on this planet. That is the reason we are here. Those of us who are actually player characters, right? Some people are going to say, well, there's just some empty shells. There's some NPCs running around down here. That may be true. I don't know. Perhaps, yeah, it's part of the game. Actually meaningless as far as we're concerned. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. The idea is to remain focused on that and forget about everything else, not allowing anything else to disturb our peace of mind. The gentleness of our heart, right? The openness of our hands, Also, lesson 132, I loose the world from all I thought it was. Reviewing lesson 132, I loose the world from all I thought it was. Right? I let go and I let God. I give up my old thought system. I put off the old man and put on the new man. I put the new wine, the new thoughts, the new thought system. I put the new wine into a new wineskin. In fact, the new thoughts create the new man or woman. So, lesson 146 today. My mind holds only what I think with God. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. And I loose the world from all I thought it was. I give up all my definitions of the world in consciousness. I loosen my grip in mind as to how things should happen, what should happen, how it should happen, when it should happen. There's another lesson which we will come up upon, which is part of this review. So in a couple days, lesson 135, if I defend myself, I am attacked. That lesson talks about planning for the future. We're trying to rearrange the past in order to suit my needs in the present and thus transform the future. Planning for the future is a defense against the truth, of course, claims. Because the truth is everything flows naturally. Everything is in perfect order in the mind of God. If I come into resonance with that, if I tune to that frequency, if I atone, if I become at one with God, then everything will work just fine. I will not have to do anything. Doing associated with the body is not the focus of our attention. The body is the symbol of separation. It is the symbol of the illusion. The hero of the dream, of course, calls it. Course in Miracles calls the body the hero of the dream. We do everything to set up the body, set up the comfort of the body. And we forget about our mind. We forget about our consciousness. We forget about our true source. And so, right, we miss the mark. We sin. We are outside, without God, outside of the Garden of Eden. So now, after lesson 146, we'll talk about the text now, chapter 17, section 5. And this is called the healed relationship. Section 5 of chapter 17 is called the healed relationship, which is the opposite of the special relationship. The special relationship, relationships set up by the ego mind, relationships set up to get instead of give, instead of pouring into a relationship, pouring love, compassion, peace, honor into a relationship. The special relationship set up by the ego looks to get something, steal something, take something. Okay, the vampire orientation, the vampire expression. So the healed relationship says the holy relationship, a whole relationship, a relationship that is complete. The holy relationship is the expression of the holy instant in living in this world. I'm not going to go too deeply into the holy instant, the holy relationship. You can go to acim.org online ACIM Course in Miracles. That's the foundation for Inner Peace website. And you can search the term Holy Instant. You can search the term Holy Relationship and research it, study it for yourself. Holy Instant is this moment of now. Everything is perfect, whole and complete in the Holy Instant. In this moment of now, everything is perfect. There is no thought. There is no ego mind. There is no past. There is no future. So the holy relationship is the expression of the holy instant living in this world. Like everything about salvation, the holy instant is a practical device, witnessed to by its results. So this is a practical course which produces results. I can tell you, I've studied this book and this course for 20 plus years with a group of students and with a master teacher, as we call her. And it is a practical device, and it does produce results. So it works if you work it. Course in Miracles is a practical course, can be applied in this world and beyond this world. So continuing, the holy instant never fails. The experience of it is always felt, yet without expression, it is not remembered. The holy relationship is a constant reminder of the experience in which the relationship became what it is. And as the unholy relationship is a continuing hymn of hate in praise of its maker, so is the holy relationship a happy song of praise to the Redeemer of relationships. This idea is related to the idea of one relationship. There is only really one relationship. My relationship with God, your relationship with God, our relationship with God, the Son's relationship with the Father, the creature's relationship with the Creator. A holy relationship, a major step toward the perception of the real world, is learned. It is the old, unholy relationship transformed and seen anew. The holy relationship is a phenomenal teaching accomplishment in all its aspects. As it begins, develops, and becomes accomplished, it represents the reversal of the unholy relationship. Everything here is upside down. Everything here, it's backwards. We must turn the other cheek. We must forgive. We must give up, sacrifice, quote unquote, our old thoughts, give up, surrender, turn over to the Holy Spirit our old thoughts that no longer work for us, the old thought system. We can give them up in the holy instant all at once. It happens in an instant. In fact, every time we do it, that we think we are doing it separately in a separate moment of time, that separate moment of time is actually a representation of the one moment in time, the holy instant, this perfect moment of now, this fulfilling moment of now. Be comforted in this. The only difficult phase is the beginning, for here the goal of the relationship is abruptly shifted to the exact opposite of what it was, from an unholy relationship to a holy relationship, from a relationship designed by, made up by the separate self, by the selfish, self-centered, narcissistic self, an unholy relationship is immediately switched through our decision to a holy relationship. A relationship then designed by the Holy Spirit to be used for God's purposes, to be used for the salvation of ourselves and everyone else. The goal of the relationship is abruptly shifted to the exact opposite of what it was. This is the first result of offering the relationship to the Holy Spirit to use for her purposes. The Holy Spirit's purposes are to teach us how to awaken, to help us awaken, to help us to return to our Father's house, to the Garden of Eden, to heaven. This invitation is accepted immediately, and the Holy Spirit wastes no time in introducing the practical results of asking her to enter at once. Her goal replaces yours. This is accomplished very rapidly, but it makes the relationship seem disturbed, disjunctive, and even quite distressing. The reason is quite clear. For the relationship as it is out of line with its own goal and clearly unsuited to the purpose that has been accepted for it. In its unholy condition, your goal was all that seemed to give it meaning. Okay, I'm going to get into this relationship, this personal relationship, this special relationship, this perfect job, this perfect scenario. I'm going to get involved in it because I am going to benefit. Right? This is selfish, self-centered. This is not why we are here for the Holy Spirit or for a higher purpose or a higher mind. In that sense, we are here for everyone and everything to recover, to remember, to recognize the truth in everyone and everything. So that is a collective goal. That is a unified goal. That is one goal and one purpose. So all of our relationships in their unholy conditions, my goal was all that seemed to give it meaning. Now it seems to make no sense. Many relationships have been broken off at this point, and the pursuit of the old goal reestablished in another relationship. For once the unholy relationship has accepted the goal of holiness, it can never be again what it was. So the transformation is immediate. The transformation is complete. That is the miracle. Everything already is perfect. I am already saved. Salvation is already complete. Now, we're just here to enjoy it. We're just here to watch it unfold, witness it. Maybe point it out occasionally, maybe direct people's attention to it gently, peacefully. In truth, it is already accomplished. In truth, the game is already complete. We've all won. In the mind of God, we never left. We never walked off. We never disappeared. We have always remained in the mind of God. So continuing here, chapter 17, section 5, the temptation of the ego becomes extremely intense with the shift in goals, for the relationship has not as yet been changed sufficiently to make its former goal completely without attraction, and its structure is threatened, air quotes, by the recognition of its inappropriateness for meeting its new purpose. So there's going to be some resistance to change, right? You shall know the truth shall set you free, but first, it's going to piss you off. Okay, the change in direction, the Course in Miracles calls it, the exact opposite of how the relationship was being perceived previously. The conflict between the goal and the structure of the relationship is so apparent that they cannot coexist. Yet now, the goal will not be changed. Once I've given the Holy Spirit a little willingness, the Holy Spirit is on my side. The Holy Spirit gets to work. The Holy Spirit does not leave my side. Yet now the goal will not be changed. Set firmly in the unholy relationship, there is no course except to change the relationship to fit the goal. Be nice. Be forgiving. Until this happy solution is seen and accepted as the only way out of the conflict, the relationship may seem to be severely strained. This is the time for faith. You let this goal be set for you. That was an act of faith. Do not abandon faith now that the rewards of faith are being introduced. It may not look like it. Our perception, the structure of our perception, the nature of our perception needs to be changed, however, needs to come into alignment with our intention. However, it may not look like it off of Jump Street. It may look like chaos, it may look like destruction, it may look like death to the ego mind, to the previous way of thinking. However, that is not the case at all. If you believe the Holy Spirit was there to accept the relationship, why would you not now still believe that she is there to purify what she has taken under her guidance? Have faith in your brother in what but seems to be a trying time. The goal is set, and your relationship has sanity as its purpose. For now you find yourself in an insane relationship, recognized as such in light of its goal, in the light of its new goal, in the light of its true goal. We begin to see that our previous behavior, our previous perception was insane. Now, the ego will try to defend against this. The ego then will, fight, freeze, flight, fawn, right? That's what the ego will suggest. Substitute for this relationship another relationship to which your former goal was quite appropriate. So I'm going to get rid of her, and I'm going to get a different one. And I'm going to get rid of him, and I'm going to find a good one. And the only way that's going to change if the consciousness, if my consciousness changes. How many relationships have I had and the outcome is always the same? How many jobs have I had and the outcome is always the same? You can escape from your distress only by getting rid of your brother. This is what the ego counsels. This is what the voice coming from the left hemisphere of the brain tells us. Just go get a new one. You need not part entirely if you choose not to do so, but you must exclude major areas of fantasy from your brother to save your sanity. Hear not this now. It is italicized here in the text. Do not listen to that voice. Do not listen to the voice of the ego mind. Do not listen to the voice of separation, the voice of condemnation, the voice of judgment. Do not listen. It says, have faith in her, the Holy Spirit. Have faith in her who answered you. She heard. Has she not been very explicit in her answer? You are not now wholly insane. We are on the road to recovery. So as you look around us, as we look around us into the world, as we watch our screens, as we see what's in the news, remember, we are not now wholly insane. It may look like it, but don't fall for the trickster. Don't fall for the trick. Don't fall. Keep climbing, keep going up, keep ascending. Can you deny that she has given you a most explicit statement? Now she asks for faith a little longer, even in bewilderment. For this will go, this too shall pass, and you will see the justification for your faith emerge to bring you shining conviction. This is what we're being asked to practice with the workbook, looking past circumstances, looking past the past, looking past circumstances which seem to appear in the current situation. Of course, and the Holy Spirit is saying, no, you're looking at the past. You're not in this holy instant. You're not in the holy instant. You're not totally in this moment of now, which is completely new. Behold, I make all things new, in alignment with the Holy Spirit, in alignment with the truth. Every moment completely new. This too shall pass, and you will see the justification for your faith emerge to bring you shining conviction. Abandon her, not now. Do not abandon the Holy Spirit now, nor your brother. This relationship has been reborn as holy. Accept with gladness what you do not understand, and let it be explained to you. As you perceive its purpose, work in it to make it holy. We have to be open. We have to open our mind and our hearts to a new perception, to a new way of seeing, to open our hearts and minds to Christ's vision, to a healing vision that is not blind to the truth, that is not deaf to the instructions and the guidance of the Holy Spirit. You will find many opportunities to blame your brother for the failure of your relationship, for it will seem at times to have no purpose. A sense of aimlessness will come to haunt you and to remind you of all the ways you once sought for satisfaction and thought you found it. Forget not now the misery you really found, and do not breathe life into your failing ego. For your relationship has not been disrupted, it has been saved. Right? So, a divine paradox there. So, we set our foot upon the spiritual path. We are the fool, right? We are the tarot card, the fool. We set our foot upon the spiritual path, looking for something better, looking for a better life. And what happens? What it's described here in section 5 of the text. Well, everything kind of goes to shit all of a sudden. Everything falls apart, seemingly. Things come to an end, people disappear, jobs disappear, money disappears, our health disappears. This is an effect of the reformulation, the transmutation of an illness, a sickness, an insanity. It is being transformed. We are being rehabilitated spiritually. And so it's going to take some effort. It's going to be challenging. And so this entire section of the text here is explaining what that is like. It says, have faith, keep on trucking, keep moving forward, keep ascending. Do not abandon the Holy Spirit now. She will not abandon you. She will get you into a safe port. Stormy seas will subside. You are very new in the ways of salvation. Think you have lost your way. Your way is lost, but think not this is lost. In your newness, remember that you and your brother have started again together, and take his hand to walk together along a road far more familiar than you now believe. Is it not certain that you will remember a goal unchanged throughout eternity? A little hat tip there to reincarnation, multiple timelines, right? Is it not certain that you will remember a goal unchanged through eternity? You walk together along a road far more familiar than you now leave. This is not your first rodeo. You've been here before. You've done this before. You've saved, rescued planets before. You've incarnated, you've embodied into dire situations before. Do you not think you will remember? You remembered before. Why won't you remember again? For you have chosen but the goal of God, from which your true intent was never absent. So the true intent, we have always carried our true intent. We know what our mission is. We know what we are here to accomplish. Just need to remember, we need to recall, we need to become willing, and we need to loose the world from all we thought it was. You are not here, light worker. You are not here, minister of God, of the truth. You are not here to find a good job, buy a new car, work till you're 65, retire, and go travel to national parks in Utah, Arizona, etc. No, that's not why you're here. You can do that. You can do all of that. It's not why you're here. You're here to remember who you are, and then to extend the memory to help others remember. That's why you're here. Throughout the sonship is the song of freedom heard, in joyous echo of your choice. You have joined with many in the holy instant, and they have joined with you. Think not your choice will leave you comfortless, for God himself has blessed your holy relationship. Join in his blessing and withhold not yours upon it. Bless those that curse you, even if it's a situation, even if it's a scenario, even if it's the world at large. Bless it, bless those that curse you, for that is the kingdom of heaven. All it needs is your blessing, that you may see that in it rests salvation. Condemn salvation not, for it has come to you. Why do you think everything is so jacked up? Right? Shiva, the destroyer, has to be taken apart and put back together. The caterpillar, the worm, caterpillar, in the chrysalis completely dissolves, completely disappears into a bunch of mush, and then is reconstituted, is transformed, is transmuted through an alchemical process and becomes the butterfly, and then bursts from the cocoon, just like you, just like you spiritually, just like me spiritually, just like us spiritually. So abandon not salvation now. Condemn salvation not, for it has come to you, and welcome it, for it has come to join you and your brother together in a relationship in which all the sonship is together blessed. So there are a few more paragraphs here till the end of this section, about 4 or 5 more paragraphs, but I think that's a good place to stop. As I said earlier, you can find the Course in Miracles online, the entire text, the workbook. You can go to the YouTube channel at Steve O'C's, and and re-listen to this broadcast, this transmission, or any lesson or text. You can follow along. You can read it yourself. You can do your own research. This is self-activation. The church isn't going to do it for you. The government isn't going to do it for you. The president, no matter who they are, isn't going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. You can do it with your brother. You can do it with the Holy Spirit, but it is a cooperative, collaborative venture. So thanks for being here today. Thanks for hanging out. So there is a comment here. Thank you. Is that Johanna? Johanna, thank you for the comment. I haven't seen many comments up till now, but Johanna says, I'm awake. I'm here to help service humanity. Source has filled me with love. Perfect. Exactly. Thank you, Johanna, for that comment. Again, a perfect summation of what we talked about today. So thank you for that comment, Johanna, and hopefully we will see you again. I'm here every day at 11 a.m. Central Time doing this live, going over the Course in Miracles. Or as I said, you could go check it out on YouTube also. So thank you for dropping that thought, Johanna. We appreciate you. So that's it for today. I will talk to you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. Peace and blessings. And there goes TikTok getting ready to turn me off. So thanks again. Thanks for being here. Peace and blessings. Love you guys. I will talk to you soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.